2, 1. Let's go ahead and do some adventuring. Hello everyone, welcome to Secret Sex Dungeon. This is our 4th session that we're streaming at the moment. We are currently assailing the Lightwatch Tower, which is on the Sword Coast, just south of Daggerford, about a 2-day trip. The adventurers from the Secret Sex Dungeon hail from Daggerford and have made their way south upon rumour that there is a desecrated temple to the sun god Lathander, and our paladin in our group, Davos, has been tasked with heading to this area to investigate and purify the temple. After a few days on the road, they arrived at the Lonesome Coach, an inn that is about a day's travel from the Lightwatch Tower, and stayed there the evening, picking up a ranger named Falcor. And Falcor has led them now to the tower. Upon arriving, they have found skeletons that are coated in gold, and these golden boned skeletons seem to be roaming the grounds, and as they slew a few after arriving, have headed up towards the tower, and have noticed that there was a room sort of shrouded in magical darkness. After a brief encounter with some skeletons near the entrance, they found a rear entrance after finding the main entrance was barred, removed a whole heap of ivy that was I suppose, blocking the rear door, and have made their way through into the room itself. Now, the magical darkness was dispelled by Beleaguer, and she cast a light spell onto the shield of Davos. Davos, I'll just remind you that you still have a guidance that has been cast on you that you have not used yet, so feel free to add 1d4 to any of the rolls that you make for an attack or ability check. But at the moment...
Oh, who was that from?
I think it might have been from Thorax in the last game.
Oh, good on him.
So you do have guidance at the moment. Standing at the front here, looking into this despoiled chapel, you've entered a room that is roughly 60 feet wide and about 30 feet deep. The rafters above are occluded by a tangle of the leavings of hundreds of generations of spiders, occluding any view of the ceiling. You see what remains of some simple wooden benches and crumbled remains of smashed altar lie in ruins against the far wall. There's this dark stain in the center of the room, and the walls are splattered with dark gore that looks like it's been long dried. However, standing from a kneeling position in the center of the room is a humanoid skeleton, apparently made out of or coated in gold. It senses you and springs to its feet, issuing an otherworldly wail as a topaz the size of a hen's egg is buried in its forehead and flashes with a sudden pulse of brilliance. 3 piles of bones lying around the ruined chapel glow brightly with golden light as all of them rush to attack you. The skeleton who had been kneeling allows its defenders to rush ahead, drawing a bow instead of drawing the sword that is at its hip. So right now, everyone, I would like you to roll initiative and let me know what your scores are as you begin to enter the despoiled chapel of the Lightwatch Tower.
18 plus 1, 19.
That's everyone. Okay, so I'm just going to go... did anyone get above 20? No? Okay.
Still finding my dice, sorry.
No, that's okay. I'll let Chris roll.
Shit. 6. 6.
6. Okay, so that's okay. So we have from 15 to 20.
Yeah, I got a 19.
19. So Davos.
I got an 18.
18 is Thorax. 10 to 15.
11. I got 13.
13 for Bell. 11 for Co.
Every time we do these rolls, I always lose.
Falcor, you got a 6.
I'm proud of that 6. It was a strong 6.
Yeah, be proud of it, man. You know, just
Other
think
than a natural one.
just think about the fact that you're probably going first the next round. And if you think about it that way, it doesn't phase you so much. And then we have some skellies that will be about. Okay.
What's the range that the skellies are from us?
So you can see at the moment there's 3 of them that are starting to close in on Davos. Remember that you are just entering a door, so Davos is in front, and then probably close behind him I think would be Ko, as she was clearing the what would you call it, the ivy away from the door with him. And then the rest of you would be falling in behind that. Probably Bell would be nearby after casting the light spell onto Davos's shield. So at the top of the round, Davos, you actually see that the skeletons are probably 15 feet away from you, in almost like a semicircular pattern. You could head sort of to your left, to your right, or directly forwards and encounter one of these creatures.
Where's the big guy?
Behind them all, kind of backing away towards all of the sort of refuse that you had noticed when you walked in. At the
How
moment,
many feet away are they?
Yeah, at the moment they would be about probably 30 feet away from you.
That's the exact range of this spell I have.
Perfect.
So I do a bunch of things.
Great.
Actually, no. For checks, did that take an action at all?
What would you like to do?
There's a few things, but if it takes a check, I don't want to use it.
Okay, so just let
I use
me.
it.
Okay, let me know what you'd like to do, and I'll tell you if it's a check or not.
So, as a bonus action, I want to cast Compelled Jewel on the fuck off person.
Okay. So that's just your bonus. There's no check.
And also maybe like a religion check.
Yeah, sure. So just roll a d20, and it won't take any of your actions or anything like that. What are you trying to recall?
What that like amulet and stuff is.
Yeah, sure. So just let me know the result.
17 plus 1.
Okay, so an 18. It looks like it would be some kind of archaic version of the symbol that you wear. There's not as much detail paid to the path in front of the sun, but you can see that there's like a set of rays around like a large, it looks like tarnished bronze almost, in the center of this amulet that she's wearing, and there seems to be some kind of path below the sun, and you think that is you've seen symbols like this before that are those worn by other followers of the path of the Morning Lord.
Okay, well I cast Compelled Jewel.
Okay.
Basically tell everybody to fight the skeletons that I'm going to take down this person.
Okay, cool. So is there what are the effects of the compel?
Yep, so it's as a 1 bonus action for up to 1 minute. One creature in range makes a wisdom on a failed save. The creature is drawn to me,
Okay.
and for that duration has disadvantage on all attacks on other people than me.
So other people that are near you?
If that creature attacks anyone else, it's disadvantage.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the wisdom saving throw. What's your DC for your spell casting?
Spell save?
Yeah, that'd be the one.
13.
13. So it rolled a 16, so that will be a success. You can add your D4 to that roll if you'd like.
Yes, I definitely do.
Oh, wait a minute, sorry. Yeah, actually you can use it to impose disadvantage. So just roll a D4 and I'll deduct that from the total.
Hello.
You still there,
Aye.
Alex?
2.
2. Okay, so that makes it a 14, which still succeeds. So it sort of looks at you as you try to cast this spell, reaching your hand out in front of you, and it almost sort of like you definitely catch its attention, and it looks directly at you as you see it starting to draw an arrow from the quiver at its side. What were you wanting to do with your action? You still have your action and movement.
Throw an axe at it.
So you have hand axes?
I got one hand axe.
Okay, cool. So make a ranged attack. So it'll be roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier. And then we'll see whether that hits or not.
19 plus something.
That's going to hit. That's going to hit. So just roll the damage for that. Are you proficient with hand axes? Or
I am.
thrown weapons? Yeah.
It is slashy, but
That's all right. Go ahead and add your dexterity modifier to that.
4 plus 1.
4 plus 1, so 5 damage. Very nice. So you throw the axe. It sort of swings into the room, barely missing one of the creatures that's in front of you as you kind of aim the shot past it. And you see it knock a rib off of the creature. It looks like it's taken some damage, but is not looking too worse for wear at the moment. So are you moving anywhere, or just are you standing in the doorway there?
I just run forward.
Cool. Okay. So you can either run your full distance up to one of the creatures, or you can just stand inside of the room out of their range.
No, I'm just running at the big one.
Okay, cool. So you will kind of get, you'll be running through the range of one of these creatures, one of the other skeletons to get there. So you get an idea that it's probably going to have an attack of opportunity on you if you were running past. So that's up to you. You can totally do it, and it might miss, or you can avoid that by staying on this
Can I try to avoid that?
You can essentially run past, and it's going to get a swing at you, and then if it hits, you'll take some damage, but you'll still be able to keep moving through.
I might just run a little bit to the side around it.
Okay, cool. So I'll say that you kind of you stay relatively similar distance away from the skeleton that's got the topaz in its forehead, but you do manage to stay kind of out of the range of the skeletons that are in front of you. Okay. So at this point in time, Thorax, it is your turn.
So we're all under roofs, aren't we?
Yeah, there's almost like a little alcove on the outside of the doors, of the door that you've come through. So anyone that would be kind of coming in at the moment, I'd say maybe Magnus might be at the back of the group and he'd still be outside. The rest of you are probably within the room.
And for spells, do we have to take into account the materials that we need to use them? Because some of these are very odd that I don't think I'll be able to have very often.
No, that's fine. So you would either have a focus, a spellcasting focus, or a component pouch the component pouch essentially has the items for the spells that you would need.
Okay, so I'm allowed to kind of pretend that I had them, just assume that I had
Yeah,
the correct things.
as a druid, you probably would have collected things that you know are useful for spells. So with a component pouch, or you can use like a wand or something, and that removes the need for components. I think Kelvin's gone a bit this way. Kelvin will do bunny ears when he is away from
Sorry, yep, I'm back.
Net. That's cool.
I'm back. Okay. For now, I'm just going to do a straightforward produce flame attack against the one nearest to me.
Okay. So go ahead, roll your attack.
16 plus 2.
That's going to hit, and the one in front of you is going to be sort of smote by that. So go ahead and roll some damage for me and let me know what you get.
4.
4 damage, very nice. So you produce flame, it kind of like shoots out in front of you, and you see this mad kind of cone of fire just directing itself to, like, into this creature. Takes a bit of damage and moves itself kind of, it almost tries to duck out of the way, but isn't successful. And that is your action. What would you like to do? Do you have a bonus action that you wanted to do or anything like that?
That is a negative. I cannot use my bonus action to turn into a sausage dog, so I will just end my turn.
Why can't you do that?
Oh, because I have to use a regular action, not a bonus action.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. No probs. So you go ahead and do that. Are you staying kind of in the same place?
No, I do a roll backwards.
Yep.
And lay on my back like a turtle that's been upended.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So you are currently, I'd say, prone. And you can
Prone is hex, sir.
Yeah, you can use a little bit of your movement to get up later. Welcome, Sil. It is good to see you.
Hello. Hi.
Can you go ahead and roll initiative for me as everyone is storming the inside of this temple right now?
I have 12.
You have 12. Very good.
Son of a.
Chris is sitting at 6. Sweet and pretty.
Sorry, man. That's got to be like all modifier if he's on 6.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think probably wouldn't have been the best roll on the die.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, Belle, it is going to be your turn.
Yeah.
After that will be Sil.
Hooray.
All right. I would like to do chill touch to like the gem area of the main guy.
Oh, okay, cool. So you kind of extend your reach out across the room, and you would be, pretty much within 30 feet. So if there's any kind of, like, that's within your range, I'm assuming.
It's 120 feet, the range.
Cool. So roll your ranged spell attack and let me know what you get. Because you're aiming specifically for the gem, just let me
know. So it's 9 plus intelligence is 3, so 11.
11?
Wait. No, 12.
So 12.
Yeah.
Yep. So that misses, unfortunately. So you cast the spell, kind of reaching out, trying to grab at it, and it almost it sees this hand coming, kind of like bats it out of the way, and you see this like arcane energy just kind of like dissipate in like a puff of dust. What else are you doing? You've got these 3 skeletons beginning to advance in towards you, kind of carrying different weaponry.
I'm just gonna stand there and look pretty.
Okay, cool.
I'm not afraid of skeletons.
Fair. Not something to be afraid of. Sil, so. Hello. What would you like to do here?
Well, as I look around, closest to me, I
You can see that in front of you right now there are 3 skeletons. Almost just You've just come through the doorway here. Excuse me. After clearing vines away and making your way inside behind Davos, who is carrying this like illuminated shield.
yes.
You can see that there's 3 skeletons that are beginning to walk towards you. These like glit boned, like covered in gold, carrying different melee weapons. And off in the back of the room, roughly about maybe 40 feet away from you now, just being a little behind where the rest of the group is, you can see that there is one creature has a large topaz, roughly the size of an egg, embedded into its skull, and there is she's just beginning to pull an arrow from a quiver at her hip. So that's where you're at the moment.
Yeah, cool. I like a challenge. How easy is it to get to the topaz shiny arrow drawing skeleton person?
So if you were to go directly towards her, which would be about 40 feet of your movement, it's probably going to be, I don't know, it could be a bit difficult. You'd be running through other creatures, and that's...
I will pass on that. No, no, thank. I'm going for the closest one.
Yep.
Sweet. I'm gonna actually. Can I? Is there enough room to jump over them? Or is it a small space? If it's a small space, I would not be the kind of person to try and jump over them.
It's not necessarily a small space. Like the ceilings are probably about 20 feet up. Jumping over them it'll probably give them disadvantage on their attack. So go ahead and as you, Syl, the monk, run in, and you're going to jump over the top of one of these creatures, make an acrobatics check for me. And if you are successful, it will have disadvantage.
Oh, natural 20. Natural 20.
Very nice. I can't impose super disadvantage on myself, so I'll go ahead and roll an attack with disadvantage. And that's a 3, so it's not going to hit you. I'm assuming your armor class is a little better than a 3.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, you go flying over the top of him. You kind of use your staff to jump over the top, just pinning him out of the way as you kind of flip over the top. You land on the other side, and you have now you would have used 20 feet of your movement to get over the top of him there, and you have a little bit more, probably about 15 feet to get towards where the larger of these creatures is.
Well, that's good because I've got more feet than that to use. So yes,
perfect.
I want to run straight at. Wait, if I run from there, I've got a straight shot, right?
Yeah, you can reach the creature that's drawing the bow right now.
Yep, that's what I'm feeling. So I'm going straight at bow creature with my staff drawn, swinging an attack at it, aiming right for the arms that are holding that bow.
Cool. So you run in, you make an attack. Let me know what your attack roll is.
Okay, so attack roll coming up. That would be just going to add a modifier. There we go. That would be 21.
21 is going to hit. So you...
Some good rolls.
What are you attacking with?
I'm attacking with my staff.
Cool. So you bring it down, kind of cracks the ulnar on the bow arm, and she kind of almost drops the bow for a second. It just goes limp in her left arm, and she looks up towards you. Give me a bit of damage for that.
Bit of damage. We got a 7.
7. Very nice.
Yep. And I'm going to throw an extra... I've hit with one arm, with the staff in one hand, and just absolutely throw in a bonus little unarmed attack there with the other hand.
Very good.
Just going to try and punch it in the face. Oh, damn, we got a 7 again.
Wait. Wow. So what was your attack roll?
Well, my attack roll... Oh, yeah, we got to throw an attack roll for that, don't we?
Correct.
Damn. All right, well, let's forget that roll then. Oh, I got 22. Yeah.
Okay. I'll stick with the damage you already rolled, which was another 7. So
I was just getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, you come in and just start beating this creature down, and you see as you're kind
Yes.
of, you sort of land a couple of really well-timed shots, and it cracks a couple of the bones, and you can see that as the gold kind of flakes away from the bone where there are cracks, the bone within looks to be like pure white, as though it was prepared in a certain way. It's not like a decaying bone of a skeleton that you'd usually see.
Interesting.
So you do that. It's this creature's looking pretty worse for wear, and you can see that the topaz in the middle of the forehead is just kind of glowing, sort of rhythmically. This orange kind of golden light coming from the topaz. At this point in time, Ko, you're currently standing just inside of the door, and you can see that there's a whole heap of these skeletons just beginning to close in on everyone. What would you like to do?
How distracted are skellies?
Which ones?
Like, could they see me if I
Oh.
tried to like disappear?
You mean you're like, how perceptive are they?
Well, would I be able to disappear from them? Or am I kind of standing in the middle of the freaking room?
They can see you at the moment, but being a rogue, you can go ahead and use your bonus action to your uncanny action to try and hide, if you would like. So just describe.
I'd like to do that, but also stealth my way like through the shadows towards Topaz dude.
That's going to be difficult, and it's quite a long range. Without sort of something similar to what Syl has just done by vaulting over the creatures in front of you, which you guess is quite difficult, you would have a hard time. You'd probably take 2 rounds to skirt around the entire room to get towards her.
In that case, does it look like any of my bow arrows would pierce this topaz, or does it look like really freaking solid?
It'd they definitely hit. You think that it might be a little bit more sturdy than bone, but it's like you might be able to. You'd probably be able
I'm
to do damage
gonna
to
fire a crossbow at it.
Okay, cool.
At
So
the topaz.
Have you got like a light crossbow or a hand crossbow or something like that?
Oh, sorry, it's a short bow. My bad.
Short bow. Okay, cool. So you pull out the short bow and loose an arrow. Go ahead and roll an attack for me.
Isn't Jordan there?
22.
He'd be, yeah. It's a tricky shot. He's in melee, but there's no real what would
I'm
I say?
aiming for the topaz.
Sorry, you are aiming for the topaz, and you got a 22.
Yes, just the topaz, and I got 22.
Yep. So Davos, the way that it works is that in melee, usually there's no effect of sort of ranged weapons if you have other sort of friends in melee. The only thing that would happen is if there was like a direct kind of failure, like a natural 1 perhaps. That kind of rules. I just rule it that you might miss and actually hit your friend.
Oh, okay.
Don't miss.
So the 22, Ko, as you see this creature kind of turn its head towards Syl, you line the shot up and see that this topaz kind of like glows for a moment, and then in that second you release the bow, and the arrow finds its mark, just hits directly on the topaz. You roll some damage for me and let me know what you got there. And in this instance,
6 damage.
In this instance,
6 piercing.
Yep. Can you just double check whether you'd actually take the benefit of sneak attack damage for this? Because you have a foe within, an ally within 5 feet.
Only if I have advantage or another enemy of creatures within 5 feet. Yeah.
Yep. So you have another ally within 5 feet, which is Syl. So you
It's
can roll
me.
your sneak attack damage. So that's
And
6.
that is
and then
another d6. And another 5.
And another 5. So as you hit the creature, you kind of chip the majority of the skull away. It cracks the topaz, and it kind of seems to be just glowing now, just emanating this like orange light. Still, from up close, you can see that the creature is barely holding onto its life. It looks to be
Aha!
relatively. It looks quite sort of injured, I suppose. best term there. So where are we at? Anything else that you wanted to do? Move or co?
Nope.
No, cool. So that
Maybe
comes
do
up-
a little jig because I'm happy.
do a little jig. You're just like, yeah, I got it. That was fucking great. Okay, so Syl, in hand-to-hand with this creature currently, you see it drop the bow completely as the jaw is kind of just hanging. There's not actually much left of this creature, but it draws a longsword from its side and sort of raises it high above its head, and you can see that the longsword actually just has the slightest glow about it. Not
Oh boy.
not any kind of sort of reflection of the topaz light, but as though there's light from the sword itself. And she's going to try and attack you. That's going to be a 12 against your armor class.
8 of 15.
Okay, so that first one misses. And it looks like the creature is now going to attempt to back away. She's super injured, just begins sort of moving backwards from you, and you get an attack of opportunity as the creature
I
kind of
certainly do.
begins to move away.
Right. So I roll for,
Probably just like an unarmed strike.
and I roll attack first.
Yep, just roll an attack.
Sweet. Oh, 6.
Okay, so a 6 misses. So you see her just
Huh.
dart out of the way as you swing through. She's kind of
Sneaky.
using the momentum of bringing the sword down and missing you to get out of your range. And she moves off towards the back of the room, probably about 15, 20 feet away from you, and is backed up against a wall, looking to try and salvage anything from this. You hear this kind of coming from the creature, and all the rest of the heads of the skeletons turn back towards her and just begin marching towards her as though being rallied. At this point, Falcor, you can see all of this going down. The 3 skeletons just turn their heads and begin looking towards, obviously, like a leader of some sort, and they are attempting to rally at the moment. So what would you like to do as this is all occurring?
Shit. I will run at the most injured one. That looks like it's pretty much on its last legs, as you would say.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know that the one that everyone's been attacking on the other side of the room at the moment, probably about 60 feet away from you at this point. To get to it, you would probably use all of your movement and an action of movement. So you'd just be sprinting across the room.
Oh, okay, so it wouldn't make it because I got 30 speed, is that right? Because it's 60
so
feet?
you'd probably get about halfway, but you do notice that there are these three skeletons in front of you, and one of them has taken some damage. It looks like you could probably take it down quite easily.
Alright, I'll go for that one. Just wondering, with new ability that I picked up in level 3,
Yep.
the Colossus Slayer,
Yeah.
does that work on every attack, or is that just like a once a day sort of thing? I can read it out for what it says here.
Yeah,
but,
read it out, because that's kind of quicker than me flipping through a book.
Your tenacity can wear down the most potent foes. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the creature takes an extra 1d8 damage. If it's below its hit point maximum, you can deal this extra damage once only per turn. So any turn?
Yeah, it seems like
happens?
it. That sounds pretty good. So
It sounds too good, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked. So you get an extra D8 on that creature. So go ahead and roll an attack, and so long as it hits, roll your sword damage as well as an extra D8.
Alright, so roll the 20 first for...
Yep, roll a D20, and then let me know what that is with your modifier, your attack modifier.
That is 14 plus 2, 16. Yeah.
16 hits. So roll your
Yes.
damage, which will be whatever your longsword is, as well as your extra D8.
This is the 2 short swords.
Oh, short sword. Sorry. Yep.
Yep. Rolled a 3, unfortunately, but yes.
No, so a 3, and then also the D8.
D8. Yeah. That's a 2.
Another 2.
Yes.
Yeah, so the creature is just standing. You managed to sort of cleave one of its legs off. It's kind of hopping around at the moment, but the majority of its bones have actually been scratched up, kind of cracked away. Looks like it's in a pretty bad space. So.
Do I get another second attack with the second sword?
Yeah, you would. And actually, did you add your dexterity modifier to the damage there because you're proficient?
Oh
with
no, I didn't. Sorry,
short
plus
sword?
3.
Okay, so that creature is dead. It has
Dead.
fallen to the ground. You can use some more of your movement and move on to another creature to use that bonus attack if you'd like.
Yep, the next closest one.
Yep.
Please.
Yeah, cool. So you move across towards one that was just immediately in front of the doorway, probably about 15 feet ahead. And as you do that, you roll another attack and let me know what you get there.
I got a 15.
15 also hits.
Oh,
so this time, just go ahead and roll just the damage for the sword without your modifier because it's your offhand.
Yep, that's 5 plus the dex, so 8.
Okay, so it won't be plus dex because it's your offhand.
Oh, sorry.
So it's just the 5, but that's still good. You managed to kind of bring the sword down and cleave through a couple of bones in the shoulder. And at this point in time, it's actually going to turn around and attempt to swing at you offhandedly as it begins to move away, heading back towards its kind of the larger of these creatures. And it swings the sword. That's going to be an 18 plus, where's this sword? Plus 2, so that's a 20. So I'm assuming that hits.
Holy shit.
I'll take that holy shit as a yes. And that's going to do 6 damage, slashing as it kind of cuts across your shoulder. It begins to move away, however, not having the greatest intelligence, and you do get an attack of opportunity. So this will be your reaction this round. So feel free to go ahead and do that.
D20?
D20.
Yeah. 16.
16 hits. So roll your
Take
damage.
that, you bastard.
And then that'll be adding your dexterity to this.
9 all up.
9 total. So you see it begin to turn away, and as you do, it's just kind of like, you're not getting away. You cut it down where it stands, and that creature falls to the ground. It's a massive round. Well done, Chris.
Take that. Somebody only drank milk instead of milk.
Yeah.
Doesn't strengthen your bones like milk. Okay, we come back around to the top of the round, and that is Davos. Davos, at this point, you're probably about 25 feet away from the creature. You've managed to edge your way along the wall, and walking towards it, you can see that there's it looks like it's in its last sort of dying throes. The gem that's embedded in its forehead is just glowing and pulsing with this almost golden light that seems to be almost leaking a bit of shadow, which is bizarre. You can probably make your way to it if you would like.
I run at it and I hit it with my hammer.
Very good. So you run up, go ahead and roll a d20.
I'm very angry at it because it's evil. So I use, and this is a waste, but I think my character will do this, as a vow of enmity, which is that I hate it so much that I get advantage on attack rolls.
Cool. Okay, sweet. So roll 2d20. Let me know the highest score.
Hello.
It got a 11 plus 2.
An 11 plus 2, which will be a 13. That just
so lame.
misses. Just misses.
That is
So you kind of come like flying towards it, and with reckless abandon, you just kind of like just miss, landing amongst a whole heap of timbers that have it's kind of sprawled itself across at the moment, cracking a few of them. You hear kind of like a hollow thud, but you do notice that the creature hasn't been injured by what you're doing, and it just looks up at you with this kind of like terror and fear. You do have a bonus action and probably about another 5 feet of movement if you wanted to.
No, the channel divinity thing I did was the bonus action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Cool. So that's the end of your turn. Comes around to Thorax, who is currently prone. What would you like to do, Thorax?
Well, annoyingly, all the spells I prepared suck for this situation.
Fair.
Kind of want to use it anyway. So can you update me on the middle most important skeleton lady?
Yeah, so there are 2 skeletons left. You see in front of you Falcor just slicing one of these creatures in half as the bones kind of like spray out of the center of the creature into the room, and the other he felled just recently. So you have one creature, one skeleton just in front of you to your right, and then across the room from where you are, you would be about, say, probably 45, almost 50 feet from the one that Davos has just sort of rushed.
Okay, and can you describe any jewelry or weapons that it has?
The creature in front of you, on your right
The
side.
one that's in the middle, the one that Davos is charging.
Oh, okay. So the jewelry doesn't look like too much. There's some kind of almost plate mail looking kind of like pieces that it has on it, but not in any like significant suit of armor. Like a shoulder pauldron and like a gauntlet on one of its arms, and then there is this holy symbol that's around its neck. And other than that, you notice that there's just the gem in the center of the forehead.
Okay, I'm not going to do the spell I was going to do because I think that would end badly for everyone.
Okay.
I will just straight up produce flame into the closer skeleton's butt.
Cool. Okay, so you can see like the hole in the pelvis, and you just go straight for it. So roll an attack for me and let me know what you get.
3 plus 2.
3 plus 2. Is it only plus 2 for your spell casting?
I think so. Yeah, my proficiency.
So it'd be your proficiency and your modifier. So your spellcasting modifier would be wisdom.
Plus another 2.
Plus another 2. So that makes a total of 7. Still
7.
misses, unfortunately. So you kind of like cast flame, and you see that a couple of bits of like splintered timber on the floor just catch fire and just begin kind of smoldering. A little bit of smoke, but it does miss your target, unfortunately. At this point, anything else that you wanted to do?
I regret not making the gauntlet really, really hot, which is what I was going to do.
Fair enough.
Next time.
No, that's cool. Belle, it will be your turn.
Yeah. Can I try to do the same thing again, just the chill touch?
Yeah, so from across the room.
Yeah.
And are you aiming for the topaz again?
Yeah.
Cool. So go ahead, make your ranged spell attack.
A natural 1.
Natural 1. So that does not work.
No.
No, not at all. You kind of go ahead, try and focus on what you're doing, and you see that out of the corner of your eye that there's a fire that just starts in the corner of the room near where Thorax had been kind of pointing his hands, and he it distracts you a little, and you lose the spell, and there's kind of this explosion of like arcane energy that you were holding and concentrating on to try and use, and you take a hit point of damage from the arcane explosion, the backfire of this spell, as you roll this natural one. Anything else that you wanted to do? You've got a bonus action.
I'm just gonna cry in the corner.
Cool. So you kind of move across to the center of a side of the
I'm
room.
gonna have a bit of an emo moment. Yeah.
Just begin like trying to hide yourself. Actually, roll a stealth check for me, just for fun.
15 plus 3, 18.
18. Very nice. You kind of just skulk off into the corner and pull your cloak up. And you're just like, fuck this. Still.
Yeah, not my problem.
That'll be your turn.
Wonderful. Okay. I think I'll attempt to do what she failed at.
Cool.
Put it so elegantly.
So I also failed at that as well.
How close are the two skeletons to the left?
One is 15 feet from you. The one that you were in hand-to-hand with, it managed to get away.
Yeah.
Davos is kind of like just fuming. You can see this like almost smoke pouring from the sides of his head as he's just like freaking out. This like raging fire behind his eyes as the hammer like misses his target. And behind you, about probably 20 feet away, is the other creature that you turn to look at. You can just see this cone of flame that misses it, kind of gets silhouetted behind the creature, and you see Thorax standing there. But yeah, that's where those two are at the moment.
Okay, so are they close enough for me to run to one and then to the other one?
So 20, 40, 55
feet
would be the total. Or you could go...
Never mind.
Oh, wait. No, you could go 15, 30, 50. 50 feet would be the total.
Still just short.
Just short.
I want to do some real cool drive-by style stuff.
Run across.
Because I can do that. I can stop them making opportunity attacks too.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay.
So
you pick your target here. You've got the a skeleton that hasn't been hit yet. That you can't. It sort of like looks like it's fine. Carrying like an axe at its side. Beginning to walk in your direction, or there is the creature that Davos is trying to kill.
Well, the one beginning to walk in my direction, I don't like the look of that. He's coming for me, isn't he? So I can see it. It looks like it. Let's whack him.
Heading back towards that area of the room, yeah.
Okay.
You rush him.
He's asking for it. Totally. I've got the staff out. I'm running right at him, and I'm taking a swing.
Excuse me.
Aiming right for the neck.
Cool. So go ahead and make your attack as you run in.
I swing my mighty staff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 12.
Oh, 12 barely misses this creature. You swing the staff down, and you notice that just underfoot where you are at the moment, there's a couple of lit timbers that you hadn't noticed a moment ago with all of the flame that Thorax had been kind of casting, and it just catches you off guard for a second with the heat underneath your foot.
Oh, bugger.
But you miss on that main action. You do have bonus.
Yes, I do. I would like to use my key. I have one key point left. I'm going to use that sucker.
Cool.
And I'm going to take 2 unarmed strikes. Just one hand and 1 foot going for it. Using that momentum to like swing a kick and a punch.
Very good.
Right at this dude.
Nice.
Yep. Okay. The kick, I roll a 10.
10 total will miss.
Okay, that's for the kick. So I'm using that momentum for the punch.
Nice.
16?
A 16 hits.
Yes! That was all about... Yeah, I was swinging in circles,
The staff swings through, the foot swings through, and then you just like, bang, open hand, smack him in the...
Finally.
Classic misdirection.
Yep, he doesn't know what's coming for him.
So roll some damage.
Okay, rolling damage with that. We got a 7.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's about as high as I can get with that.
I'll say that as you do this, you kind of like open palm towards his face, and you see the skull just detach from the spinal column and just fly backwards. It actually rolls over towards what looks like a kind of like a mound in the corner.
No way.
Bell, at your feet, you can see that there's just this skeleton head that the jaw is just.
I just kick it.
Cool.
Then
kick
I
it away.
pick it up and kiss it, and I've said, "I'm so sorry."
Is he dead?
My friend.
No, he's not dead. You can see that the body in front of you is still just like swinging its arms, kind of wildly. But
does anyone want to play bowling?
It does not.
Well, the fun part is when I land an unarmed strike with my flurry of blows, I can impose. I depending on what my intention is, I can impose an extra condition. So in this guy's case, I'm going to attempt to knock him prone.
Oh, cool.
He has to do a dexterity saving throw, I believe it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
actually, give me 2 seconds here.
That's all right. It could be a strength check, but
yeah, it might be.
That's all right.
Might
Either
be.
way, he has a 0 modifier, and that doesn't help a 3. So you go ahead and knock him prone.
Hooray!
You kind of knock the head off, and it stumbles around for a second, trying to gain its balance, and then just falls in a pile on the ground. Still looks as though it's alive, but it is definitely pretty badly wounded. From that point, we get to Ko. Ko, what would you like to do?
Did Jordan attack the axe guy?
Yes. Yeah, it's laying on the ground right now. You can see that the 3 creatures that were once in front of you, now there is Falcor standing there, both short swords in hand, over the top of 2 piles of bones. And on the right-hand side, there is Syl, just menacingly standing over the top of one of these, this creature that's still just writhing on the ground.
I just wasn't sure which one he attacked. Okay, I am going to. I might grab my whip out.
Okay.
And the one that Falcor's standing over is kind of still intact, yeah?
No, both of the ones that Falcor have attacked. The only one that's alive is the one that Syl is standing over.
That what, sorry?
The only one that is alive is the one that Syl is standing over.
You keep cutting out.
Syl is the only one that has one that is dead, alive near him.
Okay. In that case, am I close enough to dagger it?
You could run in and stab it, and you'd get advantage.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You would have advantage because he's prone, and so because you have advantage, you could go ahead and use your 3rd level feature if you would like.
My assassinate?
I think so. If you have advantage on an attack, you get... Or is it just sneak attack?
Only if they haven't taken a turn in combat yet.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and just roll your sneak attack with your damage then, for an attack with the dagger. You get advantage because he is prone.
7 hits, right?
So did you roll advantage?
Oh, yeah, shit, cool. 22.
22.
Yes,
That
I did that
hits.
for you.
Yay!
Very nice.
I was like, so do I roll to hit with the sneak attack now?
Yes.
$17.
17 hits. 17 damage total. Jesus.
No. Because I had to roll a hit for the sneak dagger.
Okay, so a 17 hits. So roll your damage.
Yeah. Okay. 9.
9. Cool. So how did you want to kill the creature?
I want it to explode into smithereens.
To explode.
Because
Very
like
good.
I keep stabbing it and little bits just keep chopping up, so it's kind of like, you know, one of those guys where it just bits keep happening up and it goes.
Sure.
Can't
So
explain it.
you
I'm a bit drunk.
essentially you give it the best that you can with a set of daggers against a creature that is made of bones and gold. You begin cracking and splitting away as much of it as possible, and it just ends up as this kind of shardy, broken thing laying on the ground.
Can you whittle a shape?
Oh yes, I will a penis.
Out of like its femur. Sure. You now have a dick bone.
Because I am. Because I'm 18 and immature, that's totally what I do.
Very nice. You have a dick bone that you are beginning to whittle, and just looking around, you can see that Davos is on the other side of the room, standing over this creature menacingly. As it looks up towards him, being prone, it has a moment where it tries to brace itself. It stands up looking directly at you, Davos, and this sword that is in its hand begins glowing, kind of a dull. You see a few small dull lights almost hovering around the blade itself as it raises it over its head and slashes at you. That's a natural 20.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and that's going to be... How many damage? That'll be 6 plus 1. So that's going to be 7 damage as the sword comes down at you. And that's about all it does this round, but it is standing now, and you can see that it's barely holding itself together. Now comes to Falcor. Your turn.
Yay! So I'm still about 60 feet away, is that correct?
You would be probably
A little bit closer.
Yeah, you'd be within 30 feet. So you
Oh,
could
sweet.
you could make your way to it if you wanted.
Cool. I'll strut myself over to the head honcho
Nice.
and I'll hit him with, what the hell is that thing called again? The ensnaring strike.
Ooh, okay. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope so. So apparently that's a 1d6 piercing.
Okay, so roll your attack.
Crap, where'd that one go? Come back 6.
Oh, so
Yeah.
your d20. So roll your d20.
Oh,
to
sorry.
hit. No, that's all right.
Yeah. 18. Ooh.
18 hits. Are you aiming for the creature or for the gem?
I'll go for the creature because I'd like to ensnare him.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you bring down this attack, and what's your damage there?
Yeah. That would be 4.
4 damage. Okay, so you manage to you bring this strike down, and out of the blade that you're carrying, what does it look like as you kind of like kill the creature?
I'd like it to look like a luck dragon flying from the blade as it comes down.
Yep.
With its glorious kind of locks.
Cool. So as you
And then you can kind of hear Atreyu in the background going, yeah!
Nice. There's this kind of like sound as you bring the blade down, leaving like a bit of a trail of this grayish kind of almost looking like fur smoke trail behind the blade. And as it finds its mark, you see that on the front edge of the blade, there's these teeth that seem to erupt from the blade itself and kind of bite down into the skeleton. You kill the creature, and you can see that now the bones just sort of scattered across the place. Some of the gold like flaked away, some of it kind of charred from this attack that you've given. You can see now that there is just this gem sitting in amongst all of the shards that's just glowing. It's just still pulsing. There's a crack in it from where Ko hit the gem.
It's only worth quarter of the amount.
Yeah, perhaps. But at this point, everything that you can currently see within the room is slain, and there is apparently no threat.
I pick up
Thanks
the
for the
dick bone and
carry.
like to keep it as a weapon.
You wait your turn, damn it! You wait your turn.
No, I want my dick bone.
So,
I want to leap before Ko does.
so we're currently out of initiative order. So yeah, what were you saying, Ko?
I take the dick bone I made and I keep it as like a blunt object to hit
Blunt
people
object.
with.
Sure. So it'll be an
Can you please tell them what you've named it?
an improvised.
Can I
well,
take the
you named
necklace?
it. It's called Needle because I am a Game of Thrones fan, so
The needle dick
Ko loves
bone.
to watch it.
Yes.
Needle dick, needle dick, needle dick.
Ko's a big Game of Thrones fan.
For sure. Funnily enough, it's in the future, but you'll see.
It's all
So
crazy.
Davos, you said that you lean down and pick up the holy symbol that was around this creature's neck.
Yep.
Yeah, so you inspect it for a minute, and you can tell that it's definitely from a few centuries ago. It would be perhaps 100, 200 years minimum that this sort of design would have been used. As you look around the rest of the room, you can see now that the rest of your party has kind of begun to move into the room proper, and you can now see that there is, I suppose, amongst the altar itself, there were some books. There's not really much else though. The rest of the room seems to be covered in spider webs and shattered bones.
Is there anything to loot in the room? Like even the books or something? Is there anything like?
I don't know. Roll an investigation. What would it be?
Perception?
Yeah, let's go with a perception check.
Nat 20!
Oh, cool. So everyone else sees Ko begin to look around the room, and you sort of find like a couple of gold pieces. Like you'll find six gold pieces sort of throughout. Very good. You find 6 gold pieces in the room. There's actually not much gold here. There's actually half of like a cutaway section of a gold bar that you think would be worth about perhaps 10 gold, but it's like a solid chunk. And it looks like the edge of it has been almost melted away. The rest of the room, however, you begin looking through, and as you kind of begin getting across to where Davos and Falcor are at the moment, you notice below the refuse, you can see that there's actually a bit of a what would it be? Some kind of sorry, I'm just thinking about how to describe this properly. It's not a trapdoor. You can see that there's like a
cellar door.
Get out of my head! Get out of my head!
It's not a goddamn door.
It's not a door. You can see that there's almost like a sheet that looks to be stained, and as you begin moving pieces of refuse out of the way, you can see that there's this white sheet and just a whole heap of blood across like the center of it in area maybe 2 or 3 feet. It also looks like some sections of it have been torn by like razor sharp blades, like just completely slashed.
I just look at it and I say, ouch.
Yes.
Are you hurt?
Someone was.
Did anyone get injured?
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I heal myself.
Very good.
Good
I lost 1 HP because I got a nat 1.
That's fair.
I took 6 damage. I should really wish I had that South African health potion about now.
Yeah, you could afford for it.
I'm
Nice.
just about to link up with a bunch of my mates.
Oh look, just in time to loot the place. That son of hey.
Perfect.
Oh, hey.
It's actually a pretty good story time
Hold on,
when
guys.
you arrive.
Excuse
Did
me.
he bring
Hey.
his student?
So, these are some of my friends that I went to uni with.
Oh,
Hi,
right.
people.
I should.
Oh, I thought that was just a
Hey.
photo of them,
Go to
let
bed.
alone actually being
Oh,
there.
jeez.
Let's bed.
You're the best.
Are they naked?
You're gonna tell them you joined the Western?
That would
Go
be
to
illegal.
bed.
No, you are.
Mitch,
Yeah,
bed.
that's awkward.
Just tell me.
Bed.
That's
Can I
little
ask you
bit.
one thing?
Very quickly.
Can you please tell
Considering
me?
I wasn't child services.
Go.
No, tell them.
Go to
I
bed.
won't leave.
Mitch, go. The
Go to
Western is
bed.
great. Now go.
No,
Yeah, go to bed.
Mitch, go.
Off to
God
bed,
damn the
children.
nines.
Damn it, bitch, go.
So, for
Hello,
We
did
love
trust
you,
you?
Matt.
those of you joining us now,
Hi.
this is our warlock Magnus. Who just disappeared? No,
2 people.
whole heap of people.
I think that was
Yeah,
Melly.
they just.
Here we go.
Oh, there
We
we
have-
go.
People coming back. Okay,
They
so
seem like a handful, Matt.
I'm just rearranging these little banners.
No idea.
Okay. We have Belle
They
disappeared
weren't
as well.
naked, were they?
Just from the top up.
Like, fuck.
That's
Permissible.
terrible.
Okay.
Says the person that just made themselves a
I
needle
was
dick.
gonna say that's so
That's
illegal.
a fair point. That's a fair point. You did do that.
Hey, just as well she
Yeah,
didn't name it
I have
after
a
you.
needle dick now.
Chris, I
Join
am
the club.
grateful. Okay, Matt, let me bring you up to speed. So, at this point in time, you have just seen your friends completely slay within about 15 seconds the entire room of the skeleton.
Not me.
Awesome.
Especially the monk.
Yeah,
He did
the monk,
really good.
The monk did.
I was crying in the
really
corner.
good.
He showed up late, but man, he kicked ass.
So we have 3 piles of skeletal bones just all over the place at the moment, and you can see across the room Davos and Falcor are standing over the top of this larger creature that you saw last when you were entering the room, and there is a topaz that is amongst this pile of bones that have been sundered now, that is just pulsing at the moment with this, I suppose, like a golden light, this golden orange kind of color. Is what is everyone up to? So I think Ko has gone ahead and had a bit of a look around the room, found a little bit of gold. There's not a great deal else that you guys have seen so far, except for a door that is behind.
Can I also
the rest of the
holster
refuse.
my dick bone? Can I holster it and just be like, I want to keep it. I want to keep this shit.
I often think.
Hey, let's keep
So-
this PG. Keep it PG.
Hey, no.
Where
Guys,
are you gonna
We'll be
holster
in
that
bed
dick
by
from?
now.
Guys, good news. One of my stupid spells that I prepared was speak with animals. I talk to the roof spiders.
You tell them you love them.
And they had very little to say.
Then what happens?
Are you trying to do that, Kelvin?
Yes, I'm passing a spell called Speak with Animals,
Cool.
and I can comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts. It's limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, they can give you information about nearby locations and monsters,
Okay, cool.
including what they perceived in the past day.
Nice. So as you begin to sort of cast this spell and look upwards, you call out in this strange tongue that everyone else sort of perceives as like a series of clicks and hisses. And as you look up, Kelvin, Thorax, you can see there are now creatures descending from the webs.
Can Kelvin just do the sound as
Yeah,
well?
sure. How does it sound?
Hello.
There's got to be clicks and
Hi.
Speaks whale. I know.
He's trying to speak whale to spiders. Okay,
Spider
so
is very much like whale.
as you begin talking, Thorax, you can see first one creature comes down and begins looking. and you can see the eyes kind of reflecting the light of the room.
I give it double finger guns.
Yeah. And you can see it go, fresh meat.
Oh Jesus!
Hey guys.
You see it crane its head back upwards, and from around the room, you begin looking across the roof, and there's another 1, 2, 3,
Hey guys.
4, 5.
What did you do?
6 of these spiders that are roughly the size of like a basketball,
Jesus.
sorry.
Jesus.
Guys.
You can see the web that they have is just beginning to descend. They're just beginning to descend down. Now you're the only one that has seen this so far, Thorax. And as you turn around, you can see that one is hovering directly over the top of Magnus. Appears to sort
Oh,
of
thank
be.
God it's not
You
me.
can see there's shining, almost looks like venom on the fangs as it begins to rear back, landing on the top of him. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and have my surprise round on you guys. And then I'll get another. We'll use the same initiative, except for Magnus. I'll go ahead and get you to roll some initiative, and let me know what you get.
Okay.
Ooh.
Maybe very interesting right now.
It's good. What was that? Might be a bit
The
interesting.
rolls. Let's see how I go. Where can I roll? On the floor.
Cool.
16.
Okay, so 16. Very good.
Oh wait. Plus. Hold on. I think I'm +1 on initiative.
Cool.
Let me just check. Yeah. So 17.
Yeah, cool. You're quite quick, and as you turn to look back across the room, with Thorax making these strange sounds, there's this furry, many-legged, many-eyed, extremely dangerous-looking creature that's standing right in front of you, and it bites directly for your face. These two almost finger-sized pincers come directly into the side of your cheek, and that's going to be a 16 to hit. Does a 16 hit you, Magnus?
Sorry, just checking my AC.
That's okay.
Just working off a PDF version of stuff, so it's just
fair
going to take
enough.
me a
Fair
sec.
enough.
12. So yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Okay. So you first take 3 piercing damage, and then I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw, as you can feel the poison that was on the fangs of this creature just beginning to course through the veins in your face. It's kind of got this throbbing, hot sensation as it spreads down the side of your neck.
This is not good.
Okay.
With with my modifier, we have 3 total because I rolled a 2.
Okay. So that would be, you take another 4 poison damage. And for the next round, you have disadvantage on your attack.
So how much damage was that total, sorry?
So it was 3 from the piercing and 4 from the poison, so 7 total, as the creature kind of bites into you. At this point, there's 2 that drop from the roof right near Bell. Bell, one of these is going to attack you. And that's
Please
going
don't.
to... Please don't. And that'll be a 15.
Yeah, probably hits me. Wait a sec. Yeah, I'm only 11.
Cool. And that's a 2 piercing damage. And can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Wait a sec. D20 is 10.
10 is enough.
And +2, so 12.
Cool. So you manage to sort of, you feel this poison just beginning to sort of pulse into your veins, and you manage to fend off the effects, not taking any poison damage from the creature.
I'm a necromancer, bitch.
Thorax, you're watching the one overhead, and it's still talking to you, and it goes, "We haven't had fresh meat in months," and just continues lowering. It's probably about maybe 5 feet over your head at the moment, and would have been on you if not for your short stature. At this point in time, let's go ahead and have initiative begin. Davos, you look around. Just roll a perception check for me.
Can I ask a quick question?
No. Yes.
Is antitoxin, would that heal anything?
I roll a 4.
You roll.
Or do I need anti-venom?
Co, you have no idea that these creatures are poisonous. Or that they're even there for that matter. Davos, you look around and you kind of like hear Magnus shriek. You're just like, oh, that's odd. And you can see that there's like a shadow near his face. But there's not really, it's a bit of a weird reaction. Is there anything that you're doing at the moment? You're kind of looking at this holy symbol.
Well, then I just say, what's wrong to him?
And
Spider.
he turns around and you can see that there's this large, almost tarantula-like creature wrapping around his face.
Does that mean I've got enough time to hit it?
You could run across and try and hit it. So go ahead and come across. You've got your hammer, and you're going to be trying to, I suppose, hit it off of his face with your hammer.
Yep.
Cool.
I roll a 12 plus 4.
12 plus 4 is going to hit. So roll some damage.
Um, 12.
Okay, cool. That is plenty enough to destroy the creature. You kind of like swing the hammer across, and Magnus, you can feel the metal just scrape the tip of your nose as this creature gets obliterated and kind of splattered across you. You almost like got Two-Face style going on, except the half of the face is just spider gore. And the other half is just your regular face. So bit bit goopy, but currently that's what's going on. Thorax, it would be your turn now.
At this point, I say to the one that's coming down to me in Spider, you got to catch me first, and I turn into a sausage dog.
Okay, cool. Very good. So you go ahead.
Anything more appetizing?
You turn into a sausage dog. What are you planning on doing?
I try to run away Looney Tunes style, so my feet kind of scrabble on the surface, and then I gain traction and I'm off.
Any particular direction? There's a
circle lap of the room.
Running around.
Yeah, I'm hoping somehow that he kind of follows me around and tangles all the other spiders up, and they make like a nice rope out of their butt. Still.
Cool. And what's your speed as a
It is 30 feet. 30 feet per round.
30 feet. Okay, cool. So that's all that happens for the moment. But you just begin sprinting around the room, a bit mad. Magnus, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
Question. In that last skirmish, did I get hit or healed at all?
No, you did not.
Okay, just working out how much HP I have.
That's cool. It'll be the same as what you had last week.
Yeah, but now minus the spider attack.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, cool. I have calculated. I know where I'm standing. We all good. Okay.
Great.
So what I'm gonna do is just let me have a bit of a read.
Plus, you leveled up and got more HP, right?
Yeah. So these spiders, all of them, would they be within 10 feet of me?
Not all of them. You can see that within 10 feet of you, there's probably 3. As you turn around, you can see over the top of Falcor, there's 2 that are just coming out of the webbing on the roof. There's... Oh, actually, it'd just be the 2. Thorax is a little... probably just outside of your 10-foot range.
So only 2 within 10 feet?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Not going to do that then. What I'm gonna do then is I am going to cast a minor illusion.
Okay.
And my minor illusion is going to be in the form of a sound.
Yep.
And it's going to be the sound of like a roc's cry.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So basically like this big predatory bird sound.
Yep. So that comes immediately from where you are. You create this sound, and it's quite loud, but this almost like reverberating around the room. You can see that a couple of them begin to move backwards and kind of pause their position. There's one that is currently pursuing Thorax, continuing down to almost to the floor at the moment. But it appears that the two that were over the top of Falcor in the corner of the room are just receding back into the webs at the moment. Bell, it will come to your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna ask very similar questions to what Matt just asked.
Sure.
So, how many spiders are within 15 feet of me?
Okay, roll a perception check. You can see the two that are immediately within 5 feet of you.
7 plus 3, so 10.
10. You can see 3 within range of you, within 15 feet.
And no one else is around me.
There's a tiny dog.
Area.
Tiny dog that is just like darting around. He'd be within the range.
Are you flammable, Thorax?
Only one way to find out.
Go away.
Alright,
Mitch,
so...
Mitch, go to bed. Mitch, no, go. Mitch, go to bed.
Good dog.
So
Sorry.
he just happens. So he just happens to be near me, like he's not on the other side of the room.
He's within 15 feet of you. Yep.
Damn it! Why Thorax? Why?
You can move. You can
Bring it on.
You could move yourself to be creating an area where just the spiders
No
are within
one
range.
is. Yeah. Is that my turn though?
No, that's your movement, but you would
Okay.
take 2 attacks of opportunity from the spiders because there are 2 immediately near you.
That's a bit harsh.
Bring
Alright.
it on.
I'm going to do Ray of Sickness then.
Okay.
So just one, the one that attacked me.
Okay, cool. So that's a saving throw.
Yeah.
It's gonna be what's the saving throw? Is it intelligence?
Mine's my main one is intelligence. Yeah.
So the spell should say whether it's against intelligence or constitution or anything like that.
Just says a ray of great energy lashes out. Make a ranged spell attack against target on hit.
Okay.
Target takes 2d8 poison damage.
Okay, so a ranged attack.
I must make a Constitution throw.
Constitution. So do you make a ranged attack and then there's Constitution saving throw?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so your ranged attack will be at disadvantage because it's in melee range. So roll 2 and take the lower.
Okay, so it's 14 plus 3, 17.
That hits.
Well, yeah, with intelligence.
And then Constitution saving throw is going to be an 8. So I'm sure that doesn't meet your DC. So what's the effect there?
On a hit, the target takes 2d8 poison damage.
Oh, cool. So go ahead and roll.
6 and 3, so 9.
That's plenty. You see the poison that this creature kind of it perceives that it's being poisoned, and it's just like, I can withstand this. I'm gonna go ahead and then it just pops. Just this kind of pus on the floor in front of you, and that creature is destroyed. The next in initiative is Syl. Syl,
Yay.
roll a perception check for me.
I'd love to. I'm just like, what's everyone doing? Why
What the
are
fuck
they?
is going? Oh my god.
Yeah, everyone's freaking out. I mean, if it's anything except for spiders, it'll be fine, I'm sure. So, let's. Oh, I got a. No, I rolled damage. None of that. Alright. Sorry. Oh, 17.
17 hits. On perception,
My
you
eyes hit them.
your eyes hit every single spider in the room. You do actually see all of the spiders in the room. There's two that are
Nice.
way up in the corner where you were attacking the skeleton that had the topaz in its forehead. There is one at the foot of Bell on the opposite side of the room right now, probably about 70 feet away from you. There's a tiny dog running around the room that is being chased by one, and you can also see that there is there is one near the door next to Ko.
Okay, well, at first I see that dog and I'm like, I think the dog is our greatest threat. So I whip out a dart and I'm about to throw it at the dog.
Yep.
Then I'm like, I think I know that dog. So
you look around it. You look around the room and you can't see thorax anywhere.
Yeah, so I'm not.
That dog must have eaten thorax.
Oh my god!
So I'm thinking, if he ate thorax, I'm not messing with him. So instead, I throw that dart. There's one hanging out over on top, above Ko, I believe you said.
Yeah, and that'd be within 30 feet of where you are right now.
Beauty. So I'd like to. I'm not next to one, am I? I can move towards him.
There's the two that are in the sort of eaves. Not the eaves, but the webs on the roof. They're within range, as well as the one that would be behind Ko currently.
Well, that one near Ko, we a team, so I'm just gonna go up, and I'm gonna move closer so I'm within 20 feet, and chuck a dart at it.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's roll for that dart, shall we?
Perfect.
Oh, 19.
19 hits, and roll some dart damage for me.
Let's roll some dart damage. We got a 6.
A 6. That's enough.
Mm.
Throw the dart just like straight through the back of the creature, and it just like dies before it actually manages to reach Ko. The front half of the creature actually lands on her, and just on the back of her, and Ko, this like wet kind of sort of furry, almost like a soaked wig, lands on the back of your shoulder. Other than that, it is now your turn. What would you like to react to that like?
I peel this thing off my shoulder, like.
Yeah.
And I'm just like horrified.
As you peel it sort of off of your shoulder, you can see the legs just beginning to lose their motion, and the fangs just peel back as though they're about to attack you, and then they fall.
I kind of go, ah! And I throw it away. And then I'm like, thanks, Syl. And is there any near me? I know, right? Is there anything near me?
You play with your hair.
Roll a perception check.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. A 6. You can see that there is none on your back.
No, I said around me, like which ones are within range of me?
Oh yeah, there's none that you can see. You turn around and you can see Belle doing something. You look across the room and you can see like a small dog running around. But
can I see any spiders whatsoever?
You're more staring down at the one that had landed on you. That you threw on the ground.
So I'm just busy being horrified, and yeah.
At the moment, that is the case. Okay, so Falcor, just roll a perception check for me and let me know what you get.
I certainly will. Yeah. Ooh, 19.
19, very good. You can hear the quietest movement from behind you. and you turn around and see that there's two sort of, quite large spiders just in the webs that are above you at the moment. Across the room, you can see that there's multiple creatures that are moving around. There's a small dog. There's a creature that looks like the same as these spiders that's chasing it, and the rest of your allies kind of moving about a little frantically, in opposition to what you sort of thought the battle was done. So what would you like to do?
Freak the fuck out for one. I don't like spiders.
I hate spiders.
So there's two near me, and potentially a shitload more in the darkness or whatnot.
Yeah, so you can see the two that are near you are about 10 feet up from where you are, like in the roof. And there's only one, probably about 40 feet away from you, that would be on the ground. So if you wanted to attack with a melee attack, you wouldn't be able to reach the ones that are in the roof at the moment.
Is there any way of using some sort of perception to see if there's some sort of Death Star-like thing that I can shoot at that will cripple the rest of the spiders in the network of webs?
With your perception check, you can see that there is a burning piece of timber across the room, and it is in the center of the room from where Thorax had cast Burning Hands before. You would be able to make it to it in this round, and perhaps be able to probably you could try throwing it.
Would we know if spider webbing of this type is flammable, like in certain movies?
Roll a nature check.
Gotcha. Sure. 15. Ooh.
15. You think that there's enough dust on the webs that are in here, and they're thick enough that it would smolder. It's not going to blaze and sort of catch a light and burn the entire building down, but you might be able to burn out a couple of sections.
Okay. Does anyone have anything flammable on them? The team?
Wasn't there a table and stuff that was made out of wood?
Yeah, there was plenty of broken timber right near where you are,
Yeah.
Falcor. But the small area near the door, probably it'd be your movement to get back to it. There's a couple of pieces of timber on the floor that are smoldering at the moment from when Thorax cast his Burning Hands spell.
Okay. And are the spiders keeping distance at all from the said fire?
That you can't tell. They seem to be more interested in attacking fleshy creatures. The two behind you, though, are sort of notably sort of standoffish.
Gotcha. Well, I'll make my way towards the burning piece of wood.
Yep.
And pick it up. Am I able to move any further from there? Sorry, or is that all max?
That'd be the limit of your movement, so you'd be there. You could try throwing it from here. You can see that there's a spider that'd probably be within about 10 feet of range, and there's also one probably around 20 feet from you at the feet of Bell.
Okay. Well, I won't throw it, but I'll kind of aim it kind of at it and say, "You shall not pass," sort of thing.
Just kind of warding it away, making sure that they aren't getting any closer to you.
But I have to put an old man voice on at the same time.
Cool. Roll a performance check. No, I'm just
Performance
kidding.
check,
I'm kidding. Okay, so
16.
That's pretty good. That's not a bad impression. Okay, gets to the top of the round, and these creatures kind of look around the room. The spiders just seeing everyone in the room at the moment. The one that had been hanging down, about to go after Thorax, you can see that from across its back, there's these folds of almost like finger-like projections that have this webbing between them, very, very thin, almost like skin-like material, and it kind of stretches them out and pushes a whole heap of air out beneath it and begins flying after the small dog. It comes directly for you, Kelvin, Thorax, and is going to attack you. You managed to get about 30 feet away from it, but they do move very, very quick. That's going to be a... What's the total there? That's going to be a 21 to hit the small dog.
Yeah, my AC is like 11, so it hits me.
Cool. So you take 3 piercing damage, and then roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Sorry? I can turn them off now, mate.
Alright, sorry. What was the second thing you said? So I took the damage and then...
Yep, so you took the damage. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
5 minus 1.
5 minus 1. So you also take 3 poison damage. So what's the health on your small dog?
3 HP.
Okay, so as the piercing damage kind of like hits you, the dog, it kind of molds back into the form of Thorax, and he's kind of like on all fours scrambling across the ground, and then you fall over and you can feel that the fangs of this spider just push a little bit further into your shoulder, and you feel this pulse of poison kind of released from the fangs. There's these 2 kind of pulses of poison through your veins, and you'll have disadvantage on your attack in the next round. So that's the first of the spiders. And let me just go ahead and make a note here. The 2 that were behind you, Falcor, begin to look around the room, noticing that there's no large bird of prey anywhere nearby. You see these projections. Stop dying, I can't. Fair point. So I am going to go get a glass of water for my girlfriend. I'll be back in half a moment.
Okay, Kelvin is now Dungeon Master.
So, sausage dog is not as good as a form as I thought it would be.
You are now a hot dog as you are dead. Eat him.
I was dealing
Cold
with
dog.
students and stuff. What happened to Thorax?
The spider started flying and it swooped on me and it bit me and it did twice as much damage as I had HP as a dog.
Oh no.
Yeah, he messed up that dog.
So are we down to still 2 spiders at the moment, plus possible other ones in the area?
I think they're descending now because they noticed that my bird noise was not real.
Should we back to the door kind of thing and then pick them off as they cluster after us or something?
I know use burning hands and burn it all.
They're pretty weak though. Like they're quite weak. We could just take them out on this turn.
But but isn't it like a single go, like per kill, and there's meant to be heaps coming?
No, that like we already looked around. I already saw like 6.
Yeah, that's a lot, right?
Well, we've killed like how many? 3, 4?
3 are dead.
3 are dead.
I reckon.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you go. All good.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say 3 are dead. You can see that there is still 1 at the foot of Bell. You can see that there are 2 that are behind you, Falcor, and they are about to make their move. And there is 1 that is currently on Thorax, and he is currently kind of like bitten by the creature. But these 2 that were behind you, Falcor, spread these kind of like wings off of their back and just jump out of the webbing at you. Both of them are going to try and attack while they buzz around your head.
Does my fire do anything at this point, like of keeping him at bay or anything?
So you were facing.
I'm still holding him.
Sure, it makes it a little difficult for them, and they will have disadvantage on their attacks. but that's still one of them is going to hit you, I assume. What's your armor class? It's a 21 on the die. Oh well, with the modifier. Sorry.
My one is 14 for the armor class.
Okay, so one of them hits you, and it's going to be 4 piercing damage. And then can you roll a Constitution saving throw for me?
Which dice is that?
So roll a d20, and then at the top of your sort of skill set, it should have saving throws, and the saving throw for Constitution. So add that modifier to the d20 roll.
Does that mean 0 when it's like on the left-hand side in the big thing saying Constitution?
Yeah, if you've got a 0 modifier for Constitution in the saving throws section, it means
that's like the little circle underneath what your Constitution is.
Yeah, so that'd be a 0. So your Constitution's like 10 or 11.
Yeah. 15.
So 15, that's enough. You don't take any more damage, and you manage to kind of like fend one of the creatures off, stopping it from actually biting you, keeping the fire like in its face, and the other one, meanwhile, does attack you. So the one that is on the floor at your feet, Belle, kind of seeing you, seeing the creature that you just exploded with magic, looks at you and just comes directly at you, sort of climbs up your leg and begins to try and attack at your into your torso. So you
Okay.
Is your armor class 13?
11.
Okay.
11.
So 13 is going to hit. So you'll take you take 1 point of piercing damage and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so D20 is, oops, I just lost it. 17 plus Constitution 2, so 19.
It's entirely fine. So you don't take any of the poison damage at all, just that 1 point of damage. Right, so we get to the top of the round, and it comes to Davos. Davos, you've just finished swinging this hammer across Magnus's face, and he's kind of looking at you. You see this gore kind of across half of his head. What would you like to do here?
But I can't see any others, can I?
You now would be able to see that because they're illuminated by fire, as Falcor is kind of like swinging this burning stick around, kind of trying to keep 2 of these creatures away from him. And there's also one that is crawling on Bell at the moment, and one on Thorax. Bell and Thorax. Bell's probably about 30 feet away from you, and Thorax would be about 20 feet.
What about the 2 ones? How close are those ones?
They'd be 20 feet as well. You're kind of near the center of the room at the moment after rushing over towards Magnus.
Are they both very close to each other?
They're within 5 feet, so you could, if you had 2 attacks, you could probably try and hit both.
So I can just do one swing and try to hit both of them.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. But
well, I go over to those 2 and just hit one.
Yeah, cool. So you come up right next to Falcor, swing your hammer, go ahead and make an attack roll.
17 plus 4.
Okay, that's going to hit. That's certainly going to hit.
Not me, I hope.
No, not in this case.
And that's a 5 plus 4, that's 9.
9. That's enough damage to sort of obliterate the thing. It's just dead instantly once it collides with the hammer. You see this kind of like spray of legs and sort of spider bits across the room. Anything else that you wanted to do with your action, your bonus, or you've got another 10 feet of movement if you wanted to get away from the other.
Can I like ready to hit the other one near me or something?
Yeah, sure. You're ready to hit it on the next round. You kind of like are standing there waiting. The next person is Thorax. You currently have a spider crawling over your shoulder. Surprisingly, not a dog. Within about 6 seconds, this creature has kind of turned you back into your halfling self. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna roll to see how much of a panic I'm in.
Yeah.
Not very. Okay, I was going to panic and cast fog in the entire room,
Cool.
but I won't because I managed to stay calm.
Good.
Instead, does the spider have its fangs currently in me?
Yeah, at the moment.
That's fine. I would like to produce flame into its face.
Yeah, sure. So is produce flame a ranged attack?
It's a self. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Produce flame. I'm now on fire.
Human Torch.
Yeah. Exactly where that spell would work.
I can use it as a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
So it can be either. It can be in my hand, or I can use it as a ranged spell attack.
Oh, cool. If you are using it in your hand, you don't take a disadvantage. So you can just like produce flame and then try and like hit the creature. So just make an attack roll like you would with your spell.
Can do.
Spell modifier.
Check this out. 21.
21 hits. You kind of like take this burning hand and just begin to burn the creature. Roll some damage for me.
Can do. 4.
4 is enough. You see the creature just kind of like blow up, begin bubbling on your shoulder as you kind of like continue just destroying the thing. That one is dead.
I take the opportunity to say, I bet that was the brat worst.
Very good, very good. You can see that a couple of your party like look towards you and they're just like, with the nice. Okay, Magnus, comes to your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, how many spider friends are still around me?
You can see 2. None around you right now. You can see within, actually from where you are, you have 2, one on one side of the room, one on the other, both probably about 20 to 30 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm gonna try something here.
Sure thing.
So, I am going to use my Mask of Many Faces.
Yep.
To take the form of Lolth, the spider goddess.
Oh god. Okay. So what's the spell that Mask of Many Faces does?
Disguise self.
Disguise self. So I'll just have to check that because there's things like polymorph that will turn you into another creature. But let me just have a look. Disguise self. You can make yourself, including your clothing, armor, weapons, or other belongings on your person, look different until the spell ends. You can seem 1 foot taller or shorter, appear fat or thin or in between. You can't change your body type. So you must adopt a form that has the basic arrangement of limbs. Otherwise, the extent of the illusion is up to you.
Okay. Okay,
So
not
you're still going to look like a
goddess.
human. You could get really hairy, and
hold on, give me 2 secs.
Cool.
Because this might change what I want to do. Sorry, just taking a look at a picture of an arachne. To see if that's something I can manage.
Just roll a nature check for me.
Okay. To see if I actually know what this stuff is.
Yeah. Not something you really come across in the Sword Coast super often until you go into the Underdark.
Yeah, I probably don't know about this. That was a 9 with a +1.
No, that's all right.
Okay. Well,
cool.
I still reckon I can do this basic thing I'm trying to do, where I'm just gonna like make my face and upper body look very spider-like.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the hair begins sort of protruding from your skin. Your entire limbs just become shrouded in this kind of like thick, dense fur almost. And you actually see that 2 extra pseudo eyes appear near the corners of your own, and they become like this glossy black finish.
And then I'm gonna say in my best, like, scary spider voice.
Yep.
This is gonna be funny with students
You have to do it.
potentially
You have
listening
to do
in,
it.
but stay away from my meat.
Nice. Roll an intimidation check for me.
Sure.
Sorry, just so I know for next time, if I trash talk as a sausage dog, does it come out as English or as barking?
Comes out as barking.
They're barking.
I thought it'd be Spanish.
Bork, 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 bork.
That
means,
is
means fuck you.
15.
15. Okay, so yeah, both of them kind of, you see as you look around and you're screaming this out, you see both of the creatures kind of pause and begin to like recede towards the edges of the room.
Yeah, they do.
The one that was on you, Beleaguer, actually begins to move away. So you can make a melee attack of opportunity if you would like. And Falcor, Davos, the same thing. If you would both like to try and attack this spider that is flying around your heads at the moment, feel free to.
Sure.
Is that count as our go or just a reaction?
That's a reaction.
Normal roll.
Ooh.
Yep,
18.
Just a melee attack.
16 plus 4.
Cool. So Falcor and Davos, with your combined damage, can you both just roll damage? Just tell me if you get ones, because that'll be the main thing. Actually, with your modifiers, it's fine. Don't worry.
I got 5.
Cool. So Falcor, you kind of like skewer this thing with one of your short swords, and then this hammer just comes out of nowhere and like splatters it across the blade. So that you turn to your side and you can see the glowing eyes of Davos, the tiefling, standing right next to you. The one that
I killed him first.
pretty much.
Yeah, but I squished.
Beleaguer, what did you get for your attack roll?
I'm gonna do dagger, so it's 1d4 plus 1 damage.
Sure. So on your d20, what's your attack?
14 plus. Hits. I don't know what else. I don't normally do combat. Does it plus 3?
I don't normally.
Dexterity.
Cool.
I don't normally stab things. No, it's not in my nature.
So go ahead.
So dexterity is plus 1, so it's 15.
Cool. So 15 hits. Go ahead and roll your d4 damage and add 1 because you have your dexterity modifier.
4.
You kind of like straight into the mouth of this creature. The dagger that you rarely use, unsheathed, nice and clean, now covered in spider guts, just completely dripping. You take a look around as you kind of like remove this spider from the dagger and clean it against the ground, and it's really quiet. It's about as quiet as it's been since you've gotten here. You're finally inside out of the woods. You have destroyed a whole heap of skeletons as you've moved in, and then after being ambushed by spiders, you have now managed to sort of slay them all. They are laying across the flagstone of the watchtower, the Light Watchtower.
Okay, I'm going to immediately shift back to my normal form so no one thinks I'm a spider monster.
That's a good idea.
Sure.
I was looking at you a bit funny.
It was rather noticeable though. You all did notice Magnus turn into this anthropomorphic spider for a moment, delivering like a pretty serious, command to these creatures almost. And as he kind of turns back to himself, what are you doing, Magnus? You kind of look around the room. You can see that your friends are in various states of health, but still near the door that is on the opposite side of the far side of the room. There's this orange glow coming from this topaz still.
Okay, I say, first I'm just going to be like, tough break, guys. That was a tricky one. I'm feeling pretty injured. Don't know about you guys.
Are you poisoned?
I'm not poisoned, but I am pretty hurt.
How hurt?
Like 13 damage.
You're alive. You're fine.
How many hit points do you have left?
The thing,
9.
just one thing with hit points and whatnot. So that you guys aren't completely and utterly unable to tell how injured someone is, go ahead and say below or above half. And that'll be the best way to kind of communicate hit points. Rather than I have 13 points of health, and now I have 12 points of health. But just for the future, that'd be a good way. So it's usually it's what's called bloodied, is when you are below half of your hit points. You start looking really rough.
I am bloodied.
I am looking rough.
Very good, very good. I like the pickup.
So, Davos, how about some healing, buddy?
Fine, I give you 5 hit points.
Thank you. I also want to go and inspect this topaz.
Sure. So you head across the room. You walk up to the topaz and you can see that it's still just emanating this golden light, and you pick it up. You can see that it's a little chipped, looks a bit damaged. There's kind of like light and shadow leaking from where the crack is. Just go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Yep. 10.
10. You have a bit of a look at the gemstone, and as you do, you can see that it's glowing, but there's almost something that looks like there's something moving within it. You look a little bit closer, and you can see that the image that is in this topaz is of what looks like a specter of like a horned woman. This beautiful and serene kind of picture of a woman that looks almost half demonic, half elven. These like really pointed ears and horns that kind of curl back across the top of her head. And you can see that she's kind of, as you look through the topaz that you're holding up, across the bones that are scattered out before you, the image kind of seems to rise from those bones, and then just she looks directly towards you and just mouths something. You can't quite tell what she says. Just comes out as like a wisp. It almost sounds like careful. And then she just sort of like blown away. You continue looking at the gem, and you can see now what looks like 2 figures within the gem itself. They just seem to be circling each other, kind of like wrestling, struggling. One noticeably smaller.
Can I do like a knowledge of Arcana for what sort of magic is in this gem?
Yeah, certainly. Roll an Arcana check, and you might have a bit of an idea of what's going on here.
Okay. Maybe not. Wasn't a great roll. 8.
8. Yeah, you're not sure if it's an illusion. Could be. Could be that there's some kind of like necromantic property. You're not sure. You're really sort of grabbing at straws. You're like,
Yeah.
There was skeletons here. Maybe it's necromantic. Oh, there was like, it looked like an image. Maybe there's an illusion. Not sure.
Okay. I relay this information to my adventuring party, particularly Davis, because I feel like the tiefling lady is of special interest here.
I ask if it's a crystal gem.
What's a crystal gem?
I believe
So Davos,
it is trapping things.
Yeah, he communicates this to you, and it reminds you of the stories that you've heard of the person that set this place up, this half demonic, half elven woman. Other than
does that mean anything else to me?
Not exactly. No. I mean, what meaning are you trying to find in it?
Do I know any of the history of it or whatever?
Just what I've already told you. So previously, you know that there was a woman that her name was not Roberta Paulson, Rowena Fiss, Strongblood. She was this half elven, half fiendish paladin that had been a follower of the Morning Lord. You remember that this was what Lucian, your the kind of like head of your church, had told you about and sent you down here. But it had been he was speaking about her historically, like it was like, you know, she was the one that founded this place, and then more recently there's been news of it being a kind of attacked, a kind of dangerous area.
It was a warning. It shouldn't be taken lightly.
Should we smash the topaz?
Should I
don't
do
think that's a good idea.
a magic detect, or do you think it's not worthwhile?
I think we're surrounded by magic, so I think your radar's just going to go off the charts.
But it kind of tells us what it is too, and like what the source and stuff is, like the properties.
True.
Certainly
do
would.
that.
Like that's going to give you an idea of if this is a magic item.
Yeah. All right, I'll do detect magic.
Okay, cool. So just give me half a second. I'm just trying to. I got a thing here somewhere that is not that. There is another thing. Not there. Oh my god, it's gone. This gem that is in front of you, the spell, has some significantly high level magic that you aren't certain of the spell, but you know it's a binding of some kind. You know that it has been used as almost a prison of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what.
Does it matter what language the binding was done to understand it?
That you can't exactly tell.
Okay.
What it would have been. There's no reflection of like the runes that would have been used. But you can see that this is slightly damaged. It almost seems like there's a leak from where the gem has been struck. But yeah, it definitely seems like there's a type of magic that was like concealment on this artifact.
Okay. Should I just quickly get rid of one of the spell slots for detect magic then?
Yeah. So if you've cast it,
Yeah.
you cast it. So
Yeah.
Remove a spell slot.
All right, cool.
If someone wants to put it on something metal, I can cook it.
Davos, this is your mission.
Take it with
What do you want done with it?
Maybe we should take it back to what's his face, Lucid.
I agree.
It's a fair point.
What's his name?
Lucian. Yeah.
Lucian. Yes.
Davos, who do you want to hang on to it?
Yeah, I'll hold on to it. What could go wrong?
Cool.
So my question is then, because everyone's slightly injured and the spell makers have obviously used slots, we know it's kind of safe here now that we've gotten rid of everything. Do we want to have a rest here, or do we want to go further explore?
I'm keen for a rest, a quick 30 minutes.
Yep.
I'm very hurt, so yes.
You can take.
I think that's a good idea.
You can take
Should you take a long sleep?
You can take
A
a short
short-
rest, or you can take a long rest if you would like. Either way, you would be within this room. Now, I think we'll wrap up here, but I just have one final thing. Davos, you receive this gem from Magnus, and you look towards it and spend a bit of time just umming and ahhing over what it might have been, what it was, and can you just roll a perception check for me?
I thought I heard the word 19.
Just a 5.
It's a 5.
Just a 5? Okay, so you can see within the gem that there is actually these two figures, one of them far smaller and almost shrouded in like dark shadows. You see these extremely sort of sharp claws that reach forth from the creature, and the larger creature that almost seems to be like holding it back and struggling with it bears some significant resemblance to you. It's a tiefling, and you can see that he is kind of shrouded in some like a cloak that is covering like metallic armor. And as you see them kind of struggling within this gem, he turns at one point, and you can see that there's a sun emblazoned on the breastplate of the armor, and it looks like he's weary. Looks as though he's been battling with this creature for a long time. But just as you think he's about to let go of it, he pulls it back down and slams it against the floor of the gem again. And they just continue this battle eternally.
Damn.
That's gonna make some weird dreams.
It's a fair point. But until next time on Secret Sex Dungeon, we'll have to see the entire party taking a bit of a rest. We'll come back after that in a week's time. Happy to be going ahead and starting weekly play. Sorry for the delay in start tonight. It was good to get a bit of play in still. Yeah, hope you guys, anyone watching this, is enjoying it. I know I'm enjoying it, which is the main part. We got to play D&D to have fun, and I hope that you guys are all enjoying it still too. Until next time,